One of my deepest prayers to the Lord recently, or in the last year or so of my life, has been that I would be a mom marked by God's peace. And if you know anything about me or me and my husband's story, this prayer feels like a big one. It feels like a huge prayer to ask the Lord that I would be a mom marked by the peace of Christ. But I do believe wholeheartedly in God's word. I believe in his truth, that when we seek him, we will find him. When we seek him with all of our heart, Jeremiah 29:13. This verse has been basically my life verse. And I believe wholeheartedly, friends, that when we seek Jesus with all of our heart, we will find him. And the prayers, the deep prayers that we have in our hearts about who we want to be, the types of moms, the types of wives we want to be, he will answer those prayers. Good morning, everyone, or whatever time of day you're actually watching this video. Right now it is morning time here, and it is a very brisk fall morning, but we are really grateful for the beautiful blue skies and the leaves starting to change here in central Pennsylvania, where we are as a family. The leaves are starting to change colors and not quite falling from the trees yet, but soon will be. So first of all, I just want to pray and hope that you are, at whatever time you're watching this video, that you are having not just a wonderful week, but a week that is marked by seeing God's faithfulness in your family, seeing God's faithfulness in your life. And I pray that you have some moments during your day, during your week, even if this is months from this point that you're watching this video, that you see how far God has brought you as a mom in your motherhood journey, that you see your growth as a mom, and even in the places where the enemy may still come in and try to discourage you and whisper lies to you, that you're able to combat those lies with truth and God's word, and remembering how far God has brought you from the beginning point of your motherhood journey up until this point in time, with whatever that looks like for you. So I wanted to share with you face to face and not through a voiceover the purpose of this video. In the entire video, you'll see clips of me in my kitchen preparing various snacks for my family. And a little bit of that is you'll see, it's a famous Colombian soup that I'm going to show you and explain a little bit about. But the main portion of today's video is different snacks that I have made for my family over the course of this entire week. So this video is for moms who are looking for inspiration. I know I personally, my husband makes fun of me for this, but I love sitting down in the evening time, or whenever I have a little bit of time to myself during the evening hours during the week. I love just sitting down and watching some of my favorite YouTube channels, and I get a lot of inspiration from meals that other women are sharing they've made, or snacks, and I wanted this video to be the same for you, that you gain a little bit more inspiration or creativity in your kitchen this coming week, and giving you some different things that you can make for your family, either to have fresh or that you can freeze away for a later time to you. And then I wanted to mention too, for postpartum moms who you're either kind of you're in your third trimester or second, but you're on the brink of preparing for postpartum, or you're in the newly postpartum phase and you are looking for very simple snacks to make and to tuck away in your freezer. This video is for you, and I pray that it kind of gives you a runway, so to speak, and how to kind of quickly put together some things that you can easily take out for yourself or your family. So postpartum, I just want to say, is near and dear to my heart. It is one of the passions of my heartbeat to encourage moms who are preparing for postpartum, who are in that 4th trimester. I know from personal experience, as you will hear from my very first video on this channel called Postpartum Preparation, I know from personal experience how difficult postpartum can be. But I also know how much you can thrive in that 4th trimester. And I want to give you every single tool that I can possibly give you so that you also thrive and not just survive through that first 3 months postpartum. So if you are trying in this season, mama, to just get a handle on all the tools that you possibly can so that you thrive physically, you thrive emotionally, you thrive spiritually and mentally in postpartum, I want to quickly tell you about 2 things. I have created a 30-page ebook for moms who are preparing for postpartum. In this ebook, it is on our site, but it is downloadable. You'll get it right away after purchase. It is packed full with all of the experience that I have, all of the tips that I have, all of the food preparation, communication with your spouse is another chapter, navigating multiple children if you have them in postpartum, navigating getting back to a place of being able to tackle household chores and moving about in a very slow way postpartum. There's 6 chapters in this ebook that is chock full with very simple, practical ways you can start implementing things today so that your 4th trimester is full of peace. So I want to share that with you today so that if you're like, oh man, I've just been longing for a guide that will lead me through step by step and how to prepare for that sacred season of womanhood, of motherhood, this ebook is definitely for you. As well as the postpartum care package. You will also find that on noblemotherhood.com, so check that out as well. So leading back to what this purpose of today's video about, I hope that you enjoy all of the clips in my kitchen. You'll also see my children kind of about as I'm in my kitchen preparing all these snacks. And I pray that you are blessed by this video.
Dear friend, you and I know how important it is. If you have one or multiple children, you know how important it is to have very quick and healthy snacks readily available in the home. And so I want to take you about the kitchen, like I said, and show you a handful. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 snacks I am making this week for my family. So obviously here you're going to see me making granola, and this is such a simple snack to make. I highly encourage you to start making it for your family. You can top this with granola. I just give it to my boys out of a bowl, and they love snacking on this. And it's just a wonderful thing to have around in the house, and it's easily storable. This recipe is a simple vanilla granola recipe, and you will find this on all of these recipes you will find on my recent blog entitled, I think I'm titling it the same thing I'm titling this video, Freezer Snacks for the Everyday or Postpartum. So you'll find it there. The very next snack I'm going to be making is a banana bread. And this recipe is out of the Magnolia recipe book by Joanna Gaines. I love this banana bread. It is actually something that it's turning out to be a weekly recipe that I make for our family. And of course, the little one here, very often, obviously, if you have littles, you understand that you do so many things one-handed. And I just have to chuckle at this because, I mean, very often when I'm in the kitchen, he wants to be held, or I put him in the carrier, as you'll see later on. But our littlest one, his name is Josiah, and he is just about 11 months old here. His birthday is actually 2 days, well, it was 2 days before Thanksgiving last year. So his birthday will definitely fall on Thanksgiving days in the future, you know, based upon the day of Thanksgiving. So fun fact about him too. He is our third son, and he was a home birth baby. That is what my heart's desire was with him. And the Lord answered that desire. He was born at home. However, the ambiance that I wanted totally did not get that. My labor was super fast with him, and my husband actually delivered him single-handedly. Our midwife was on the way to our home, but my body was not going to wait. And so our midwife, I think, was about 10 minutes away, and I could not wait any longer. So my husband delivered him, and it will forever be the story, the birth story that goes down in history. Yeah, it's phenomenal. You never know with birth. Every single birth story is going to be totally different, as you know, if you have multiple kids. So I want to add in one little quick tip. So this banana bread, I did have some extra pumpkin puree in the refrigerator that I wanted to use up. So I encourage you, if you're making something and you're like, oh man, I want to add in, like, think about an add-in that you can incorporate into your dough. It turned out beautifully, as well as I love cinnamon. I don't know about you, but I love cinnamon. So I did add it into this recipe, or more so, I added it into this banana bread recipe, and it was absolutely delicious. We down it in a couple of days as a family. And of course, he is on my back because now is the go time for me. I think at this time of day, it was definitely the afternoon. So I have this period of time, as you know, moms, between after naps, rest time, right before dinner, where I can get some extra things done in the kitchen if I like to. And typically the only way that I can do this without distraction is if I just wear the baby on my back. And so next snack I am jumping into, well, is my sourdough bread. So, and yes, this is considered a snack. By the way, ladies who are expecting or in their early postpartum, but really, like, I'm speaking to those who are expecting, I'm not joking you, I stock up on bread in my third trimester. So I will make between 8 and 10 loaves of sourdough bread as I'm nearing birth, and I will put them in our freezer, and that amount of sourdough loaves will last us about a month and a half typically. And then about a month or a month and a half into postpartum, I'm ready to get in my kitchen again and start baking fresh bread. But it is so wonderful, and I highly suggest even the simple things like having bread, biscuits, dinner rolls, English muffins, anything that you typically make in your home anyway from scratch. If you're preparing for postpartum, or if you're not, I even want to speak to women who are not pregnant, who are not expecting. I still do this. It is such a gift to your future self to make double batches of things. Either it's a meal or a snack or bread, and go store in your freezer. There are so many times that I we're running out of bread, and I'm like, oh shoot, like we need a loaf of bread tomorrow for sandwiches or something. And there you go. I already had a loaf in the freezer. I can pull out really quickly. It can thaw overnight, and then it's ready for the next day. And then, I'm ready to prep more bread. But it's just such a gift to have that in the freezer. All right, here is the pumpkin banana bread. Turned out beautifully, and the granola. So the two first snacks of this video, as well as my Colombian soup, guys. Friends, this is called ajiaco, and I have not made this in a while, but fun fact, I've been to Colombia 4 times, and so Colombia is near and dear to my heart. This chicken potato Colombian soup is just amazing. Highly recommend. Again, that's called ajiaco, like it's like Colombian chicken and potato soup. Go ahead and just like Pinterest that, because it's just amazing. The secret ingredient is cilantro. So, tip. All right. So this is obviously, I'm trying to think here. On to the next day. I am preparing scones. I am preparing chocolate chip sourdough scones. And I actually have, surprisingly, I love scones. So our snack rotation as a family is I will either make scones that week or I'll make muffins. And we also have this amazing muffin recipe called applesauce muffins that I did not make this week, but they're just divine. So I will also include that in the blog post. And this particular blog that will show you all of the recipes will be in the description box below. So you can find them all there. But I've never made sourdough scones. And I found that really odd this week, but I was like, you know what? I am making these scones. And I mean, not obviously, but like it's a simple recipe, and they were just lovely. They were lovely to have around the house. So it was a special treat for us to have. But yeah, like I said, typical snacks for us are very much like this. All of these things that I'm making are very typical for me to make. And I usually, Tuesdays are the day that I am at home all day long with my boys. And so typically Tuesdays, I will spend a good amount of time making 2 or 3 snacks for the rest of the week, because I cannot tell you how many times my boys are hungry and their first offer is fruit, usually apple or banana. But then in the afternoon, I do like to treat them to something else, a muffin, scone. They're all homemade. They're all from scratch. So there's nothing bad in them for their little bodies. Still gives them energy. It's just wonderful for them to have something very, very quick that. Sorry, there was a really long pause there, and I forgot to edit out that part. I was finding my cutter there, and I realized, wow, that's a really long pause. So I apologize for that. But they're gonna go on to the pan here, and then I'll bake them, and I'll show you the end result later. But if you haven't made scones, I highly suggest you can make them fresh, but then you can also put them in your freezer and then pull them out later, de-thaw, and heat them back up. So this can become an every week thing for you, or muffins. They're just very easy, very quick, and delicious. So I highly suggest. All right. Here I am making, yes, it was my baked oatmeal. So this is a staple in our home. Baked oatmeal is a staple. I make this about once a week. It is a breakfast item for our family, and typically we have baked oatmeal either on Sunday mornings, quickly right before we go to church. I'll make it the night before, or we'll have it during the week, the morning of. We have a really busy morning, and that's typically Wednesdays. We're just basically gone all day Wednesdays. So this is a great option for your family, is baked oatmeal. And then I typically will make sausage on the side or bacon in the morning as a protein option. As well as baked oatmeal, I made so much baked oatmeal in my 3rd trimester to prepare for 4th trimester. It was such a quick thing that my husband could whip out of the freezer, de-thaw, and then pair it with some sides. So highly suggest baked oatmeal. You can wrap them individually, or you can put a whole sheet pan in the freezer, like a throwaway sheet pan in the freezer, bring it out, de-thaw, and then it's a very, very filling breakfast, as well as giving you those oats to help with your milk supply. And in this video also, you will see me with my headphones on. This is a pro tip. Grab yourself some headphones, mama, because it's just so helpful. I think in this video, my husband had called me, so I was able to talk to him while I was finishing out this video, which was just key. I knew that I had a very specific time crunch to get these clips done before my toddler woke up from his nap, and so I took full advantage of this time. So the baked oatmeal is going to be going into the oven. You'll see the picture of that later. And there's my little guy. He loves to help in the kitchen, loves it. And very often he will sit on the counter, and he will also be at the stove. He loves to stir things and help flip things. And it's a hoot. It's a hoot and a half, as always with littles in the kitchen, but highly, I'm getting used to it. Don't be, I don't know, you might be shocked if I say this, but I'm getting used to having my kids in the kitchen. It typically is a place where I like to be by myself, but I don't know. It's been really fun to extend myself in this way and realize that it's so good for them. And it's so good for me to have that connection with them in the kitchen. So I love it. I have fed my sourdough starter here because I am going to be prepping some more bread later on, but the recipe I did not turn on my camera, I guess, to show you, but I have a clip of it, is the date peanut butter cookies. I am 100% going to leave this in the blog post on noblemotherhood.com. There'll be a blog post up there with all of these recipes in the post. These date peanut butter cookies, friends, are just amazing. My husband, no joke, he tried one the other night. He had no idea he had no idea that they were date peanut butter cookies, and he put one in his mouth and he was like, "This is the best cookie I've ever had in my life." And he couldn't believe what was in them. It was amazing. So I will definitely leave that recipe for you, like I said. But I didn't get a shot there of me making those cookies. This is a typical moment in our home, the afternoon nap, when the little one wakes up and we all come back together again. All right, so there we go. There's one shot of some of the scones that I made, the baked oatmeal, and then you can see those date peanut butter cookies. And then some of them I added the shredded coconut to, and we just eat these up. Like, they're just the most wonderful cookie ever. All right, so yeah, in this video, we did granola, banana bread, sourdough bread, scones, date peanut butter cookies, and baked oatmeal. So these are all things that you can make from scratch from your home, freeze them for a later time, make them, store them in your freezer for postpartum. So I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.